With LA Noire, Team Bondi and Rockstar Games set out to create a unique crime thriller that explores what it means to be a detective in Hollywood's golden age, one of the most glamorous and most violent periods in the city's history.
LAPD, could you stand clear of the body, please?
Inspired by real-world cases, players must solve crimes, plots, and conspiracies, all set within the meticulously recreated city of Los Angeles.
I'm only gonna warn you once, gentlemen. Stay out of this.
I'm a middleman. I distribute for the LAPD.
Destruction of public property, harassment. Jesus Christ!
You just don't get it, do you?
I think I want him dead. I know a good place. Pick up a shovel and a pick on the way.
Yeah! I'm Kat.
I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
And today we're reviewing an amazing game called
La Noire.
It's LA Noire.
LA Noire.
No.
So Rockstar has done it again. Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, LA Noire.
Table tennis.
They basically perfectly created Los Angeles in the 1940s, 1947 to be exact, and the style is film noir, and it is amazing. They do such a good job. You can actually play it in black and white if you want, which is fun. They use the really great lighting techniques that they used in film noir. That's very stark, very good shadows and whatnot. The title cards are very film noir-esque.
If you're a fan of the genre of film noir, then you might as well just buy it now. Even if you never played a video game before. I know that's very extreme to say that, but
It's totally true.
If you're a fan of Hitchcock,
yeah.
It's also a post-war backdrop, so the World War II had just happened, and the guy you play, Cole Phelps, had just come back from there, and he became a cop to right his wrongs that he did during the war, and he is so cool. Also, great jazz soundtrack. Sound for this movie.
The voice
this
acting.
Movie. See, I call it a movie. It's like playing an interactive movie. It's so
tricked you.
good.
Heavy Rain versus this.
Heavier and shit compared to this.
Don't do that! Don't do that! Just say you like it more. I wouldn't do
bring
that.
it on, fanboys.
No, you don't
LA
want
Noire,
that.
Light Sprint's real-time global illumination technology is what they use, and it's what gives them the really great lighting effects. Instead of just having like mainly from one source, which is what a lot of video games do, they take it from every source and they take like, well, rays might bounce off of this wall and hit this. Like they use an entire new amazing technology.
Is that the first time?
No.
No.
I saw it in your bathroom.
And then I think what everyone's most excited about is the facial technology. It's amazing. Motion scan is this new technology they came up with to do the facial recognition. They use 32 cameras and all the actors, and there's some like actors that you recognize. The guy from Heroes is in this.
That's
like,
true. Sometimes you recognize the actor's voice, but now you're like, I recognize that actor.
By his face, like perfectly. The facial mannerisms blow my mind. Even the blinking looks amazing. Like it's not just eye closing, it's like
Yeah, you thought Heavy Rain was good?
It is glitchy though sometimes. They went like this and go, but you can forgive that, right? Because it's taking some leaps in gaming.
Yeah, so you play Cole Phelps, and he's an LAPD officer. You start as a patrolman officer, and then you move into traffic, homicide, then vice, and then arson.
So each time you get promoted, you get a new partner, which is cool because you might get sick of the old jerk partner that you
It's
have.
cool though, because they're different. Get it? One who's playing like bad cop like the entire time, and you're kind of good cop and stuff.
Dick cop, sweet cop, lollipop.
Lollipop, sucker pop. I was worried about this game because, you know, with the facial recognition, I was gonna be like, I could totally tell if someone's lying. I'm very good at that. I'm a skilled officer, and I know. It doesn't matter, because if I know that this person's lying, I could say that they're lying, and then you have to have evidence to back it up. You can't just say you're lying
So you have to
and
be
you win the
thorough
game.
upon looking at things.
You have to be thorough, like a real cop. It's a little bit humorous how they did it in the 1940s. You know, climbing on the body, like lifting
yeah,
it
like
up,
hands all over everywhere.
You know, David Caruso, nothing.
Like there's a few different aspects. So there's the car stuff where you drive around, or you can get your partner to drive.
Yep.
There's car chases. And then there's a bunch of stuff on foot. Sometimes you have to chase people on foot.
I call them foot chases.
Chase them down, shoot them down. Robberies, you gotta shoot those guys down too. And then there's also the investigating at each crime scene. At first I was like, man, this is gonna be way too slow. I'm not gonna be able to deal with this. I'm way too ADD. Nah, I love it. I wanna go play it right now.
A gamer like me, I enjoy
Dick like
Dick like me, I enjoy taking the time and finding the clues in the game because the atmosphere is just so nice and perfect.
I mean Dick like a detective. Get our dicks on the road and look for evidence.
So it's not as sandboxy as some of the other Rockstar games. There's definitely a linear path that you're supposed to be following, these cases you're supposed to be going, but you can also go, dispatch will call while you're on the way somewhere. You have to quickly drive there and handle whatever's happening. There's like 40 of them, I believe.
Out of all the Rockstar games, like the sandbox games, this is the most different. They did take a risk taking place in the 1940s and doing like a film noir theme, but they really pulled it off again, and I think they know they can.
The engine it's running on, calm down, but it is the same engine as everything else they've
Yeah, the textures are really high res, especially when you do investigation and you like zoom in and you see everything like that.
Like
it's
the
spectacular.
fiber of the paper, like everything, the leaves on the ground.
So during the investigations, you have like a body on the ground and all of this evidence. As you walk around, your controller will vibrate when you get near certain things. It could be like a plastic bag and you pick it up and you're like, this is not relevant.
This is semen.
They picked up a Bible at one point and he was like, this is no good to anyone.
And you have this music that also accompanies the vibrations. And you get these certain score hits when you get close to evidence that you're supposed to pick up. Once you've discovered all of the evidence in that crime scene, you can actually hear the music dim down and you know that you can move on in the case.
If you can't find all the clues, you can use your intuition points. It'll give away where all the clues are, or you can use your intuition points in an interrogation where it's kind of like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where you can like rule out if it's a lie.
Yeah, so when you're talking to people, there's truth, doubt, and lie.
If you don't think he's lying, but you don't have evidence, hit doubt. At the end of an interrogation, it tells you how many questions you got correct. You can also use your intuition points and ask the community, and what this means is it'll go on PSN or Xbox Live.
PSN?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe if it's working, like 60% of people said lie in this question.
That's why I played it with friends, and we'd all be like, ooh, what do you think?
Another thing that's awesome about this game, it's a nice long campaign. We're talking about 18 to 20 hours, depending on if you do the side missions and stuff. The downside is that there's no multiplayer. I guess they figured they've done everything with GTA and Red Dead. They just want to focus on it 20 hours.
Same as all the other stuff. Like, what would you really do with it?
Bring back like old modes, like Cops and Crooks. But what they do have is there's DLC, so new cases will come out eventually. I think June 21st is the first one.
New cases, you can also get new suits. There's a suit that improves your pistol aim, there's a suit that improves your fighting skills.
I'm still working on my pistol. So lonely.
Also, they do have a couple like little side things, like you can collect all these film reels. There's also landmarks while you're like driving around. It'll be like, hit circle, and you like look, and there's like a landmark. The newspapers.
Newspapers lead to a case down the road. Also these cool flashback scenes of the protagonist in the war, and he was a war hero. He won, I think, the Silver Star.
Silver Star, yeah.
When I was playing this, I was like, this is almost like CSI. Not over the top, but there's moments when you're looking at evidence and then the coroner comes up to you and he's like, check this out.
It's unique, it feels fresh. So, like Kat said, Rockstar did it again. We have another contender for Game of the Year, 9.5. How come it doesn't get a perfect 10? Like all the other Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead games, there's some weird little glitchy stuff that can be forgivable. I oversee that. And I find sometimes that, you know, you're just going through the paces of solving the case. It feels like sometimes I can't fail. I'll get all the questions wrong, but somehow I still get my man at the end. Little things like that. But it is an excellent game. It is superb. Jay, what do you give it out of 10?
A 9.
Why does it lose a whole point?
Mike already pointed out some of this. There's the first mission where you feel like you really need to pass correctly to get by because you literally can't go further. After that, I just felt like I was watching a story almost. I was intrigued in it, and it's amazing. That's why it gets a 9. I'm just thinking, like, if this story wasn't so good, would this game still be as good? It's a lot like their old games, but then on the other hand, it's not at all.
No.
Is this a film I'm playing?
Yeah, and they do get more complicated and complex.
Yes.
But like early on, it's just like, I don't think I could lose. And some flaws in the side missions is you're kind of forced to kill the guy. Instead of just shooting him in the leg and arresting him and getting your man, you have to kill him. Kat, what are your thoughts?
I give this game a 9.5 for sure. Loses 0.5 for the things that you guys have mentioned. When you're investigating, it does feel a little bit like work from time to time, but it's still really interesting. They do a really good job with the music. The setting is beautiful. They've done a great job of all that. Again, the facial recognition, amazing. Storyline, super interesting. Each of the cases, the opening for it, really great. There's a cinematic at the beginning. You love the characters. They're really interesting. The truth lie doubt thing is such a neat thing. I love this game. I love this game. There was so much happening with it. It was so much fun.
You okay? So Kat is definitely right. This is a huge achievement in gaming.
Apparently, it was the first game ever to be put into a film festival.
That is superb. That is excellent. Great. I'm so happy about that.
Well done. Well done, Noire.
Thank you.
It's Chinatown, baby.
I like the guys that go, I've watched you forever, up until this point where I'm unsubscribing.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of this game and you're not.
And what really happened was they bought Brink because of the hype day one or at midnight.
Yep.
They thought it was going to be amazing. and they're still trying to convince himself and looking for any recognition online.
But enough of that shit.
Enough of that shit.
Red Dead. I'm just so excited. Sorry. Can you say this? Light Sprint's real-time global illumination technology.
And now they have a new technology in LA Noire called Light Sprint's realistic technology.
I did die one time and then like float up into the air.
Yeah, you're going to heaven. You don't believe in God?
What?
You offended everyone. Raptures? Don't like God?
Well, it was the end of the world on Saturday.
Hey.
And you can also use...
My life!